My entire life, I have been always socially awkward. I don't remember how I was in preschool, but I do remember in first and second grade, I was in Japan, but the teacher of my class was very strict, and I was always told to speak more with other people, but that so I was basically marginalized for being who I was, that being a very quiet, if not silent kid. And when we were supposed to go to school together with a group of people for safety reasons, we walked to the school. It was like 15 minutes. And I did, but many of the times, or most of the times, I didn't really speak with any other kid. I was just a quiet kid, just going to school. And so that's how far back my memory goes in regards to my social awkwardness and being a quiet kid. And I don't know if this has I don't know why I'm like this. Like, I don't know if it's something that is innate and like that's how do you say it? Like, that's something that was not developed after I was born. I feel like there's a word for that, but I'm blanking on it. Or if it was like if it I'm basically all I'm saying is I don't know if this was something that was affected by some things that I went through in my life and then I became a very like a person that's who I am right now, or if that was like just who I was from how I was born. It's how just my brain is structured, and or maybe a mixture of both, I don't know. But anyways, in third grade, I had some friends, but I was still socially awkward. The teacher was nicer than the first and second grade, so that kind of made me a little bit comfortable to talk with other people, I guess. In fourth grade, I moved to Michigan, and I don't really remember that much. Although I guess I do. I didn't really talk with other people that much at that time too. I remember I had some like confrontation with the Japanese kids. Not confrontation, I guess, but I just didn't get along too well with the Japanese kids in my class. And but I did like some girls that were in my class kind of like not picked on me, but said things like, "Hey, Shunya, smile," and things like that. And I didn't really hate it. Like it was just true, probably true that I didn't smile like at all in class, and they thought that I should smile a little bit more, and I kind of liked it. I guess like they were just being nice, and I I didn't hate it if I'm being honest. So that was nice, but in fifth grade, not much changed. Didn't have much friends. Just did have some friends, I guess, but was still socially awkward. And in sixth grade, I had the sixth grade was unique year for me because that was where like I kind of really developed a crush for the first time, and she was like really nice girl that was sitting across from me in class, and but some boy like asked me who I liked, and I probably like initially didn't say it, but like the thing with me is I'm almost like always too honest, right? Like not that I never lied in my entire life. I have, but like generally speaking, I'm too honest, and like even when you don't need to be that honest, I am. And that's what happened with him asking me that question. I um you know like gradually, or I eventually said that I liked her, and that was like not good because eventually she got to know that, and after that I couldn't talk with her that much because it was a little bit awkward. So yeah, like, and the boy that asked me didn't even know me that well. Like, he was just trying to make fun or something. Like, he guessed that I liked other, like, this serious Asian girl that's like kind of smart, and I guess he thought that I'm like this smart Asian kid, and like that's kind of racist way to think, right? If I think back, but you know, he didn't understand my brains, and he just like fucking tried to pick on me. So that was a little bit annoying, and um, I wish I didn't tell him that I liked her, but yeah, and I feel that I have I'm pretty sensitive to a lot of things, and I am often looked down upon by other people. And as I said, I don't know if it's like because of my autism, which I probably have, or um, how I was growing up. Probably a combination of both, I suppose. But um, yeah, and so the thing is, like, I'm pretty sensitive to these things, right? Like, I remember when I went to New York with my family when I was like, I don't know, probably in elementary school. I went to this like sushi restaurant, and the women that was in that called me like handsome or whatever, and I started breaking down and crying, and you know, I was crying on my father's leg, like my father's um pants, and it got really wet because of my tears. And you know, like, I guess I was a little bit, no, not just a little bit, I was insecure about my appearance, and like, I don't know, just I don't like it when people comment on my appearance, and like, I get that like being called handsome and breaking down that much. Like, I probably wouldn't do that right now, but I would feel weird. Like, I don't like it when people that are like people comment on my appearance and they're not even like your, you know, partner or anything. And even if it were my partner, I probably still would have find it a little bit awkward. I don't like it. Like, I don't like it when people like judge other people's appearance, even if it's in my complimentary way. And I'm probably like way too sensitive, like to the point of insanity about these things. But that's just how my brain functions. So yeah, and also like I remember I was in this anti-war movement in Japan. Um, and like I kind of collected some signature against calling for like signature calling for the banning nuclear weapons, and I brought that back to the group, and the man that was like in charge of these things kind of like patted me in the head, or yeah, like this, and then like I didn't like it. Like, it's, like, maybe I don't know if it's a stretch to say that was a sexual harassment, but I didn't like it, and you know, like, I feel like most people, like, I was ninth or yeah 10th grade when that happened, and like most 10th graders don't get treated that way. Like, it's one thing if I'm like a toddler and someone pats me in the head. Like, you know, I still don't think people should pat other people, even if they're like kids, in the head. Like, if you're not that close to them. But, you know, I just feel like I'm looked down upon and not treated like a decent human being. That makes me sad. But I am grateful for the people that I'm surrounded by right now. Like, I go to social groups for autistic people, and I go to, you know, like pro-Palestine activist, or yeah, like activism. I'm engaged in social and political activism, and people that are in these circles are very nice. They treat me like the like I'm an equal human being that I am. And I feel like most of my life, especially living in this oppressive society of Japan, I've been treated like a subhuman. And right now here in Canada, there's a lot of problems. And I'm sure like if I were to go to random school in Canada, I might experience the same things. But because I managed to find the right community, I'm not treated, that doesn't treat me that way. I'm able to socialize a little bit at least. So I'm grateful for that. And yeah, I hope that someday the world in which everyone gets to be treated like an equal human being, everywhere, anywhere, everyone, that kind of world comes true. So, peace.